Hello everybody, I'm Jeremy Pope and this is my partner Jason Kanigan, and we're here with theclosingengine.com. We've got something for you today that'll help you or your sales team close more high-ticket sales on the phone. And today's topic is garbage trucks can't smell like springtime. That is just the way things are. So what this means, we're going to be talking about difficulty and making processes more difficult than they have to be. In short, don't make things difficult for your clients, for your prospects. If you've got a process that's difficult, then it's worth changing. It's worth looking at very seriously to see what you can change to make it easier on them. For instance, if your sales process is have someone fill out an application, make an appointment to speak with you on the phone, speak with them on the phone, then you go and make up an invoice and send it to them, and then they print it out, sign it, send it back to you with a check through the mail, that is ridiculously complicated for what most clients of ours are doing. With us and our clients, it needs to look more like this. Application, appointment, phone call, take the credit card on the phone. It's so much easier for the client and it gets done immediately. Every time you introduce difficulty into a process, you create another conversion point where people might drop off. They might have been a perfect fit, they might have been a perfect client, there might have been no reason not to go ahead except that you gave them too many conversion points, too many barriers to entry. So don't make things difficult when they don't have to be. Jason?
Well, this feeds right into my process engineering background from my operations management training, right?
Yeah.
You know, look at the process steps, cut them up into little pieces, and then look at each one and go, does this really need to be here?
Yeah, do we
Can
have
we do
to?
this better some other way or eliminate it?
Right.
There's a wonderful book by a man named Mahan Kosla called Let's Get Real or Let's Not Play.
Yes.
And I love that mentality.
Yes.
It really gets you into the right mindset about this, that we need to have a real exchange of views. We need a prospect who's going to participate with us in the process. And you know what? If the process is going to be difficult, let's agree that this is a difficult process, right? And that will actually make it easier.
Right. And that takes us into our next slide. Unless they have to be difficult. There are a couple of reasons that we really do want things to be difficult. And Jason, I'd like you to speak directly to those two reasons: the disqualification and the buy-in.
Right. So yeah, like I had a lady come to me and say, "Hey, I'm going to launch a book. We're not connected in any way on social media. She's not following me, but I guess she saw a post of mine somewhere or something, didn't refer to it. But that's all she said. I've got a book that I'm going to launch. I hear you're a copywriter. What is your rate, and can I see some samples?" And I'm like, no, you know, right? Yeah. For some very good reasons. Like, people tend to copy my stuff, so I don't give away samples. I've been a copywriter for 20 years, right?
Right.
And I want her to have a real reason for wanting to look at hiring me before I give any pricing, right? So I gave her a bunch of stuff back, some links to look at, okay? Yeah. Testimonials. I gave her an example, but it's kind of a sly one where it's an application sales letter basically to work with me, a long form one, and a couple other podcast interviews and stuff like that demonstrate my authority. And so that made it difficult on purpose for her to get a price from me, because I don't want to get lumped in there with every other idiot copywriter who's written like 2 letters. I'm not that guy, right?
Right.
So I made it clear, here are the conditions under which I work or provide pricing, and you're going to have to jump through these hoops, i.e. tell me where your pre-qualified traffic source is coming from, or else you don't really have a project. I'm not going to hook my conversion tool to something that doesn't work.
Exactly.
And it's going to fail from the get-go. And also some information to give you a reason why you're excited about hiring me.
Right.
And I want you to tell me that reason, right?
Exactly.
So there is an area where we might want to put up some barriers to a prospect just swooping in, grabbing information without any context. Like, why is your rate $8,000, Jason? Right? I can get that over here for $250. Well, but it ain't the same.
Right.
We're comparing pears and oranges now, right?
Exactly.
But they need to know that. They need to know
Yeah.
what that difference is. And so that's where putting up some difficulty might
Yeah.
work out for you in a positive way. But beyond that, if she comes back and says, yeah, here's my project, here's my traffic source, here are the reasons why I want to hire you. Now,
I've listened to both
now
interviews.
I'm going to make it easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, if they won't put in the effort, if they won't buy in, then they need to be disqualified.
Yeah.
Either because they're not going to sign up anyway and you're going to waste time talking to them, or because they will sign up and they're going to be a nightmare client, because if they can't follow instructions from the beginning, they can't follow instructions during the process. And it's the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. If they can follow the process in the beginning, they can follow the process through the whole thing. So they need to be on board, and they need to be framed properly from the beginning. And some hoops really matter for that. Now, the last thing is say yes instead of no. With this, what we mean is this is actually a little mechanical trick that you can use to make things a lot easier on yourself. If someone invites you to a dinner party and you can't go, then there are a couple of ways that you can do it politely, but one of them is I found it to be so much more fun to use. You can say yes, then no, or you can say no, then yes. You can end with the positive. So what most people do is say, oh, I would love to, but I can't come this week. So they end on a downward note. They end on that negative note. What I always say is, oh, I can't this week, but I would love to. Thank you so much for thinking of me. It ends on that positive note. And Jason, you've got another way of that yes instead of no as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're talking about the flow of energy and the ease of that flow, right? Which is decision making in this case, right?
Right.
So we had the example that Dan Ariely, Predictably Irrational, talked about, and if you Google this talk, you'll see it, where he was talking about organ donations, and there were nations in Europe that were very similar in mindset, but they would have completely different opt-in rates for organ donations.
Right.
And it turned out that the answer to the problem was why this was happening was the form down at the DMV. And so for the countries that got low opt-in rates for organ donations, the checkbox said, check here if you want to donate your organs after you die.
Right.
The countries that had great opt-in, like 90, 95, 98% now, had the checkbox, check here if you don't want to donate your organs after you die.
Right.
And so the default choice method by the form designer really changed the outcome.
Yeah. It puts inertia on your side. Always do your best to figure out a way to put inertia on your side and then dress it up. But the process has to be easy. Use the prospect's inertia to help them instead of to block them, and you'll do much better. Don't try and make a garbage truck smell like springtime. Just switch vehicles entirely to one that actually fits what you're trying to accomplish. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. Ask your questions below. Let us know what you need help with. These are for you, not for us. So we're doing this to help you out. Do something to help other people out as well. Share these videos with people who you think can use this kind of help. And until next time, I'm Jeremy Pope.
And I'm Jason Kanigan.
At theclosingengine.com, helping you accelerate your high-ticket sales.